Radha today. And happy Diwali to all of you. Hare Krishna. Happy Diwali. Today we celebrate this wonderful pastime of Lord Krishna when he protected the residents of Vrindavan by lifting the hill Govardhan as an umbrella. We have a very tight-packed schedule tonight. We're going to have a discourse to learn about this wonderful pastime by His Grace Vishnu Prabhu, and that'll go on right now. At 7:15, we will have the Damodarastika prayers, and then at 7:30, we will do Govardhan Puja, and we will circumambulate doing Parikrama around Govardhan Hill. I wanted to mention that we have, this is a replica of Govardhan Hill, and we actually have Kanaya Dauji. These are Shilas from Govardhan Hill. So we actually have Govardhan Hill in front of us today. Shri Giri Govardhan Ki! So these are the deities of Mother Sangeeta and Bhavadev Prabhu, who kindly brought them to share this festival with us. So we're very grateful for that. So now we're going to ask you, we're going to turn 90 degrees counterclockwise. We're going to face Vishnu Prabhu. Counterclockwise. Otherwise, if you hidden back here, you wouldn't be able to see it. It's a much better arrangement. Please give your attention. If you have your cell phones, reach into your pocket, take a look at them real quick, and find that magical button that says "Do Not Disturb." Hare Krishna.
I thought it was an appropriate verse for today. Maybe you can figure out why after we talk a little bit. So I'll chant it and then you chant it right after me, okay? Devarshi, you can see it. Devarshi bhutaptaminam pitrinam. Devarshi bhutaptaminam. You didn't get that? Devarshi bhutaptanvinam pitrinam. Devarshi bhutaptanvinam pitrinam. Much better, much better. Nakin karo nayam vinicharajan. Nakin karo nayam vinicharajan. Sarvatmana yak sharanam sharanyam. Sarvatmana yak sharanam sharanyam. Gato mukundam parihritya kartam. Gato mukundam parihritya kartam. Okay. Translation, O king. Okay, sure. Yeah, why not? One who has given up all material duties. And has taken full shelter. Of the lotus feet of Mukunda. Who offers shelter to all. Is not indebted to the demigods. Great sages. Ordinary living beings. Relatives. Friends. Mankind. Or even one's forefathers who have passed away. Since all such classes of living entities are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. One who has surrendered to the Lord's service has no need to serve such persons separately. Very good. I'm not going to read the whole purport. I'll read a little bit, and then we'll discuss this pastime of Lord Krishna lifting what? Govardhan. Thank you. So, one who has not fully surrendered to the devotional service of the Lord undoubtedly has many material duties to perform. Every ordinary conditioned soul is the recipient of innumerable benefits given by the demigods who provide sun, moonshine, rain, wind, food, and ultimately one's own material body. In Bhagavad Gita it is stated, Stena eva sa. One who does not reciprocate with the demigods by offering them sacrifice is stena. What is stena?
Thief.
A thief, very good. A thief. When's the last time you're offering? You gotta get to the demigods? Oh. Stena, a thief. Similarly, other living entities such as cows are providing us with innumerable delicious and nutritious foodstuffs. When we wake up in the morning, our mind is refreshed by the sweet singing of birds, and on a hot day we enjoy the cool shade and breeze of the forest trees. We are accepting service from innumerable living entities, and we are obligated to repay them. Atta means one's own family members to whom one is certainly obligated according to normal morality. Nrina means human society. Until one becomes a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one is certainly a product of his society. We receive education, culture, tradition, protection from the society in which we live, and thus we owe a great debt to society. Of course, our debt to society is not simply to the present order, but to all of our forefathers and ancestors who carefully preserved moral and social customs so that we, our descendants, could live peacefully. Therefore, the word pitrina, or forefathers, indicate our debt to previous generations. In fact, the members of the Krishna Consciousness Society are sometimes criticized by materialistic persons for giving too much attention to Krishna, rather than working to fulfill all of the above-mentioned obligations. In reply to this, the Srimad Bhagavatam states, Yatha toror mula nishchanena chipyanti tad skanda bhujo pashaka. You know this one? Yeah, you do. You've heard this before. If one waters the root of the tree, what happens?
It grows.
Anything else?
Other branches and leaves automatically.
All the parts of the tree, all the parts are very good, thank you. All the parts of the tree, automatically the branches, twigs, leaves, etc. are nourished. There is no need, nor is there any effectiveness in separately watering all the different parts of the tree. Simply have to water the root. That's the scientific method. So this is what the Govardhan Puja festival is meant to remind us of. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurin Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Svayam Rupakatam Dadati Shapadantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Before speaking, I'd like to ask for blessings and permission from the seniors present who may be senior by age or by advancement in Krishna consciousness or involvement in the Hare Krishna movement. So this is 2 days today, two celebrations today. You know that? Yeah. Ordinarily, Deepavali, how do you say it?
Diwali, Deepavali.
Yeah, those ways. It's on Amavasya, and Govardhan Puja is on, you don't know these things? Pratipat. This is the days of the moon, right? This is the Vedic calendars. So, but today somehow they're to the other. So Deepavali and Govardhan Puja are on the same day today. Happy Diwali to you all.
Happy Diwali.
Diwali Puja.
Yes, yes. So Deepavali means it's the anniversary or the recognition. You know what? You know? What is it? Deepa means lamp and Bhavali means many lamps.
Light.
It was the recognition and the celebration for when Lord Ramchandra returned
to
from
Ayodhya.
exile and came back to Ayodhya. So the residents of Ayodhya all displayed many lights. Some people say they made a landing strip for him to come on his flower airplane. I don't know. But anyway, Deepavali, many. But also, this is Govardhan Puja. The Govardhan Puja, the celebration of the observance of the worship of Govardhan Hill, which was initiated and inaugurated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, 5,000 years ago.
Yeah.
This is described in detail in a book called the Srimad Bhagavatam. There are people who say that, well, we shouldn't really give much credence to the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Puranas. They're just kind of stories. You should really pay more attention to the Upanishads, or the original 4 Vedas. Have you ever heard that before? Yeah, people say that. But actually in the oldest Vedas and the oldest Upanishads, like the Chandogya Upanishad, it says, Itihasa Puranam Cha. The Itihasas and the Puranas, they should be accepted as the 5th Veda. Wow. So this, just like it's said commonly that example, have you ever heard this example is better than precept? Have you ever heard of that? Precept means, let's give you some rule to follow. Example means, how does that rule play out in your everyday life? And when you have an example, the nice thing about an example is you can follow the example, right? Which is makes things easier. It makes the precept or the law easier to follow. How do you apply it in your day-to-day life? So that's what we're gonna talk about today. A little bit about that, not just about what happened, but how it might apply to nowadays, because that was like thousands of years ago, this Govardhan Puja celebration. Well, now, is it relevant to you and I today, or is it something that was just, it's a nice story, we'll talk about it, but we'll forget about it afterwards? You follow? Okay, all right. So, as you know, Lord Krishna, he appeared, where did he appear? So what?
Mathura.
Well, it was really Mathura, then he went to Vrindavan.
Yeah.
Close. But in a prison house, right?
Yeah.
In a prison house. Yeah. And then he grew from infancy to his early childhood in Gokul Vrindavan, right? After he was brought from the prison house to Gokul Vrindavan by who? Yes. Vasudev, that's right. Vasudev, his father, right. But interestingly, even in Vrindavan, he stayed there for many years. He didn't grow past his fresh youth. Now, this particular pastime of Govardhan occurred when he was, anybody know how old?
7 years.
7, yeah. Do we have any 7-year-olds here today? Who is any 7-year-olds? No? How old are you?
6.
Okay, you're almost 7. Yeah, 6. So a little older than you. So you can imagine dealing with a small child. If everybody started offering obeisances to you, you would feel uncomfortable, right? And people would think, what's going on, right? 7-year-old child. Anyway, so the way it started out is what happened just before this activity is Lord Krishna was out with his cowherd boyfriends, and they got a little hungry. They didn't pack any lunch that day, So Krishna told his friends, you know what? I know that there's some brahmanas nearby and they're doing sacrifices. And it's just the time during the sacrifice when they're supposed to distribute the yagya shishta, which means the prasadam of the sacrifice. So why don't you go there and ask for them to give you a little bit of the prasad? Yeah. So they did. And you know what happened? Well, you know what happened? Those brahmins, they were doing the what's the whole purpose of the of sacrifice? Of doing yagya? What's the purpose?
To please Lord.
Yeah, to please God, to satisfy Krishna. So these, Krishna said, don't ask in my name, ask in Balaram's name. But still they said, oh, Krishna and Balaram are hungry, can you give us some food? And you know what the Brahmins did? What did they do?
They didn't give him anything.
Not only they didn't give him anything, which is correct, they didn't even answer them. They didn't even give him an answer. Anyway, so Krishna took care of that. He asked, then he said, you go back and ask their wives. They're devotees. They'll take care of it. So this is an instance where the wives were much more advanced than their husbands, even though they were big shot Brahmins. So anyway, right after that, Krishna then came to his own area and he noticed, you know what he noticed? That his father, who was his father? Foster father? Nanda Maharaj. And the cowherd men were all getting prepared to do a sacrifice, another yagya, just like he'd come from a yagya, another yagya. But this yagya was going to be for the satisfaction for the pleasure of Lord Indra. Now, so being, he showed proper attitude. Even though he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he knew full well what was going on. He knew what was going on. But showing proper attitude, he said, my dear father, what are you doing? What's going on? What's happening? And you know what his father said? Something like the other. At least, well, this is, you really won't understand. You're really not going to understand. This is kind of a complex thing, this. So, no, Krishna said, no. My dear father, you shouldn't keep any secrets from anyone. Saintly people don't keep secrets from anyone, particularly from your family members. You should be, So then, Nanda Maharaj began to explain. Well, we are Vaishyas. We're in the agricultural community, and our main business, what is the main business of Nanda Maharaj? Cow protection. Krishna says it's Bhagavad Gita. Krishi Goraksha Vanijam Vaishya Karma Sabhavajam. So agriculture, cow protection, Goraksha, and Vanijam means trade. So, but their focus was primarily on cow protection. So Nanda Maharaj was known as the king of the cowherds. So, and it's required for us to raise our cows, so we have to have good rains. And Indra's in charge of the rain, and so we want to do this, sacrifice to please Lord Indra, so that he provides ample rain for the nourishment of our many, many thousands and thousands of cows. So you know what Krishna did then? Lord Krishna did then?
He told his father that we shouldn't be giving Indra the sacrifice and give it to Govardhan Hill?
Yes. He said, there's really no purpose in giving the sacrifice to Indra, my dear father, because, really the god or demigods or whoever there may be, they are just going to give the results of our duty. We do our duty, which is, if we do our duty properly, which is cow protection, then automatically things will be taken care of. So he spoke a philosophy called karma mimamsa, which is that, really the whole world is working only because people do their jobs properly. It's something like, you ever heard this? Work is worship. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
Work is worship. Yeah. So you do your job properly, and things will come. Everything will come your way. And you'll have a good next life too. You'll have a good next life. Well, a little bit of a problem with the philosophy is that, if you're going to have a good next life, then what should you conclude from that? If you're going to have a next life, this life, your material body is not everything. We're not this body. So what about the welfare of the soul? That we don't talk about. Anyway, Krishna was saying this philosophy. Why? Because he wanted to stop his family members, his devotees, their intimate friends and relatives in Vrindavan, stop them from worshiping demigods. Very interesting, very interesting. So then, you know what Nanda Maharaj said after that? Just before that? You know what he said? Very interesting. He said, okay. So what we'll do is, Krishna then said, better instead of just worshiping, Indra, why don't you worship Govardhan Hill? Because Govardhan Hill is, the place where Go means cow, and Vardhan means what it gives pleasure to and enlivens and supports. So Govardhan Hill is that hill that gives pleasure to the cows. So why don't you instead worship Govardhan Hill? So none of us said, okay. We'll do a separate sacrifice for Govardhan Hill, and we'll do one. We'll keep doing our Indra Yajna. So what did Krishna say to that? Sorry, no. This is very, very instructive. Why is that? Because sometimes we find if you see on altars all the different gods. Did you ever see that? Yeah. All the different gods?
Yeah.
What did Krishna say? No. Not all the different gods. Yepi anya devata bhakta yajanti shradeyanvita tepi mam eva kontaya yajanti avidipurvakam. He said, those gods, people may worship other gods, but actually all that worship is meant for me, but it's offered without proper understanding. It's interesting. We had last year, I think it was, or maybe 2 years ago, we got a Bhagavad Gita back in the mail from somebody at a different Hindu temple. And they say, I can't stand this Bhagavad Gita. There was a note written, I can't stand this Bhagavad Gita. Because they're not, Hinduism means you got to worship all the gods. Right? Didn't you learn that? You got to worship all the gods. Well, actually, the problem is, just like in Christianity or Islam or many people among us, we never even studied what the Bhagavad Gita says to know. But Krishna says it very clearly. Kama istaistarshita jnana prapadyante anya devata. People who are materially motivated, they're worshipping other gods. That's right. Yanti deva brata devan pitrin yanti pitrabhata bhutani yanti bhuteja. So, if you worship the demigods, you'll go to the planets of the demigods, which is material and temporary. But if you worship me, you come to my supreme abode. So anyway, Lord Krishna's purpose, he had many purposes, but one was that he really wanted to show that his devotees, that they don't have to worship any other god other than he. Nobody else. Not only did they don't have to, he didn't want them to. Not only did they have to, but he didn't want them to. This is the purpose of this Govardhan Puja. So guess what? Nanda Maharaj agreed. Okay. We'll do as you say, Krishna. We'll do as you say. And then they had, just like we're going to do today, they had a Govardhan Puja celebration. And that Govardhan Puja celebration was celebrated not only on the earth planet, it was celebrated all throughout the universe. Initiated on the first day of the year by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he said he wants every one of us to celebrate this ceremony. And if you do, you'll be freed from the influence of envious people. Like on the Govardhan Hill, there's some snakes, and they might bite you, and snakes tend to be envious. Yeah. So he said like that. So this is something very, very unusual. Where do you find in any scripture or religious God telling you, do this festival? Do you find it anywhere? You don't find it anywhere. This is a very unique time. So all of you, knowingly or unknowingly, are following Lord Krishna's instruction and prescription to do this festival. Congratulations to you, all of you. Very wonderful, very wonderful. And then he said, here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do. To do this festival, here's what we're going to do. We're going to now bring the Brahmins here. Why are the Brahmins important? Because the Brahmins are supposed to know spirit. Brahma Janatiti Brahmana. Someone who knows God, and they can teach you the importance to understand that you and I are all eternal servants of God, and that's our main business. So he said, bring forth the Brahmins, bring forth the cows, and bring forth Govardhan Hill, and give charity to the Brahmins, feed the cows really nice grass. You know, sometimes you get grass, and if it's mixed with
Clover.
yeah, clover is good, but if you get a lot of say, what's that called? Chives mixed in, then the milk has an onion taste. You ever notice that? So you don't want that kind of grass. You bring very nice grasses, and also prepare all these kinds of preparations. And he gave a number of different preparations, like shikarini. You know what shikarini is? It's the old word for shika. Yeah. And play kalava and rashagulla and puri and sandesh, all these different things, he said, and offer them to Govardhan Hill, and afterwards to the Brahmins and the cows. Okay. So all these different preparations. So you know what the cowherd people did? Definitely. So that's why you have this annakut. And Lord Chaitanya and his grand spiritual master Madhavendra Puri also observed this festival, Govardhan Puja, in the same way. Offering all the residents of Vrindavan, they did that, yes. They prepared all these different kinds of preparations, and they made a mountain of bhog. What's it called? Annakut. A mountain of food to offer. So then you know what happened? Krishna expanded himself as Govardhan Hill. Jai. And he expanded himself as another unprecedented huge being. It's not given very, very much description. And that huge being ate all the offerings. And then you know what they said? Adior, I want more, give me more. You know, if you have your little kid, your child, and you give them something they like, they said, give me more, right? But when you're offering to the deities, does he ever hear the deities say, give you more? How is it that he was asked saying, give you more? It's because the residents of Vrindavan had so much love for Krishna. So he was especially excited because the offerings that they were making was in such love that he said, give me more. So the residents of Vrindavan cooked more and made more, and they offered again and again to Lord Krishna in his form as Govardhan Hill. That's why Dronacharya Prabhu was saying that Krishna then said, I have become Govardhan Hill. So devotees take shilas, rocks, from Govardhan with the permission of the residents there to worship as not different than Krishna. So then he said, so then you should circumambulate Govardhan Hill with the cows in front. This is this very simple prescription. Circumambulate Govardhan Hill with the cows in front. How long does it take to go around Govardhan Hill in Braj? Have anybody Govardhan Parikrama? Yeah, how long does that take?
4 hours.
Oh, you go by rickshaw or something? Yeah, foot it takes at least about 6 hours. 6 hours, right? 6 hours. But you know, we're lucky here because we can go around in just like a few minutes. Krishna's special mercy for us today. But he said, and keep the cows in front. And you know what they did as they were going around Govardhan Hill? On there? What did they do? Kirtan, chanting the holy names. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai, 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 Radharamana Hari, Govinda Jai Jai. Yes, yes. So they did that. And they were, you know what? They were very, very, very blissful at that time. Doing, satisfying the cows, the Brahmins, Krishna in the form of Govardhan Hill. But there was one person who was getting mad. Who was that?
Indra.
Ah. Why was Indra mad?
Because they weren't doing his yajna.
They were
Yeah?
worshipping.
Because they weren't worshipping Indra.
Now think about that. Think about this. This is Indra. He's the king of heaven. He's like the administrating demigod of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of planets. And on one planet, in one small portion of that planet, one small village, they're not giving him his sacrifice, and he becomes apoplectic. Have you ever heard of that word before? Apoplectic, livid, mad, enraged. Oh, so what do we know? Krishna knew very well this was going to take place. That was his plan from the very beginning. This is really something. This is very, very surprising because if you think about it, when Bhumi went to Brahma at the beginning, when there were so many troubles on the earth, she went to Brahma and said, what are we going to do? So many demons have come on the earth. What are we supposed to? So Brahma said, this is tough. This is serious. Let's go to the shore of the Milk Ocean and get some help from Vishnu. You know who was there? Indra was there. He was there. He went to the shore of the Milk Ocean. He was there when Brahma prayed to Lord Vishnu and said, I'm coming. I'm coming. And then later, when Krishna was in the womb of Devaki, the demigods prayed to Krishna. And you know which demigods were there? Indra was there. And this is just, a few years before. So here you got Indra, and he's saying, who is this pipsqueak, Krishna? This little talkative boy. He's Bala, he's foolish, he's just a little boy, Bala. So, actually, the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Saraswati protected Indra's words to make him not too offensive, because Bala means a little boy, can also mean someone who's so innocent and pleasing. Agya, he's foolish, he's Agya. That's what Indra said. And Saraswati protected us, and he has nothing more to know. He's omniscient, he knows everything. So anyway, he was criticizing like that out of material anger. So this is very instructive, even though Indra was supposed to be and was generally a devotee of God, because of his material attachment, he freaked out. He did. So can that happen with us also?
Yes, of course.
Territorial.
It happens?
Territorial.
It happens with us too, yeah. It happens with us too. Because he had a big position, and there's a theory that, power corrupts. If absolute power corrupts absolutely, then Krishna would be the most corrupt. But that's only for people on the material plane. If you get too much power on the material plane, you get carried away. And then the verses there in Bhagavad Gita. Dhyayata vashayam pumsam sangas cheshu pajayate sangatsan jayate kama krodha vijayate krodha bhavati samoha smiti bimbrama. Smiti bimbrama means after you're looking for material enjoyment, you don't get it, you get mad, you blow up. Smiti bimbrama means you lost your memory. So I was talking about how Indra was there just a short time ago. He forgot all about that. And another thing that's very interesting, Indra has a guru. You know who Indra's guru is?
Brihaspati.
That's right. Did he ask Brihaspati what about this?
No.
No. He didn't ask anybody anything. He said, I'm going and I'm going to punish these Vrindavan residents and show them a thing or two. I'm going to punish them. He forgot all, he didn't ask anybody's advice. He got carried away on his own. Okay. Indra. So I think you probably heard about Hurricane Sandy, ever?
Yes.
Hurricane Katrina, was Hurricane Ivan, was it recently? Ian. Yeah. So they named storms, right? So in this case, Indra is calling the storm Samvartaka. And Samvartaka's job, that storm is the storm that destroys the universe at the time of universal devastation. So this is, we talked about Sandy and Katrina. Those were powerful storms, but they're nothing compared to Samvartaka. Samvartaka, and he said, you go there and you flood the residents of Vrindavan. So they did. They came. And immediately there were showers of rain and hail, and wind was blowing, and the residents of Vrindavan were cold, especially the cows. So you know what they did? What did they do? They went to Krishna, right? Before they had heard. One comment I wanted to make is that, in some religions they say that God is a jealous God. Have you ever heard that?
No.
God is a jealous God?
Or vengeful.
Vengeful, jealous. Yeah, well, actually, here we have Indra is the jealous God. Krishna's not jealous. Indra is jealous. So they made a mistake with that one. Anyway, so Samvartaka came. So they of course, even from the beginning, when Krishna was first given the name-giving ceremony by Garga Muni, he said, this person, Krishna, is going to be able to save you from all kinds of, the residents of Vrindavan, from all kinds of dangers. So they came to Krishna. They said, Krishna, Mahabhaga, oh please, Krishna. The residents said, please save our cows. And also if you want to save us too. Save our cows first, they said. So Krishna said, yeah, he thought about it. He knew what was going on. He knew Indra was there in the heavenly planets. He was coming on his elephant. But he said, okay. So he ran from his house to Govardhan Hill. And a special Yogamaya potency made it so that he didn't get wet. And he lifted the hill of Govardhan. Which hand was it?
Left.
Oh, okay, left. Left hand. So then he said, come on, all the residents, all the animals, you please come, and I'll take shelter of you. They could have said, no, I don't want to. And sometimes people say, oh, go surrender to God, no, I don't want to. Take the shelter, no, I don't want to. No, but they came because they were devotees. They came. Yeah. And some people say, well, wait a minute. There's so many people. They were, Nanda Maharaj had thousands and thousands of cows. How are they going to all fit under that hill?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? The hill, Govardhan, was so ecstatic, being touched by Lord Krishna's hand, that it expanded bigger to take everybody underneath. Everybody underneath. And, how long did, say, Katrina last? How many days?
7 days.
No, Katrina, I'm sorry. We're making a comparison.
7 days, 7 nights.
No, maybe a day or two, that's it, right. We're talking about, Lord Krishna was holding this up for 7 days and nights. And you think, if Katrina or Ian are lasting just a short time and there's a big flood, what about the floods? There must have been huge floods, right?
Yeah.
Krishna took care of it. He had his potency dry up all the rain. That's what's going on. And you can think, well, wouldn't Indra have figured out what's going on after like a short time? No, there's the hill. He's having Samvartaka, just rain and hail and thunder and lightning and everything. It took him 7 days to figure out this isn't working. He was attached, right? He was attached. So, and during that 7 days, because all of the residents of Vrindavan and their cows and everybody were seeing the lotus face of Krishna, and they were drinking in the beauty of his face, and he was also reciprocating. There was never any feeling of thirst, hunger, pain, anxiety, anything. They were feeling very, very happy. Even it says, on top of Govardhan, there's some other animals, some pigs, some antelopes. They're on top of Govardhan. Because they were on Govardhan, even they weren't feeling any problems, even though the rain was coming because they were touching Govardhan and the lightning was coming. Oh! So after 7 days, Indra began to figure out this is not working. I think I might have made a mistake here. I might have made a mistake. This is, we know in Bhagavad Gita, the verse, Paritranaya Shadhuna, Vinashaya Duskritam, Dharma Samsthapanarthaya, Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. So, Krishna, he's protecting his devotees. He protected his devotees under the hill. He also protected his devotee Indra. How? He protected his devotee Indra simultaneously by smashing his false pride. Both ways. And Dharma Samsthapanarthaya, he reestablished religion. How? How did he reestablish? By showing that, as we mentioned in the verse, one who takes shelter and serves Lord Krishna, there's no need for any other worship of any other demigod. He wanted to show that exclusively pure devotional service is the highest religion of humanity, which is what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. There are so many dharmas. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. So these, then what happened after he set the hill back down, and you know what happened then? The demigods, the Gandharvas, the Siddhas, the Charanas, they began to have a kirtan and sing and dance and shower flowers at this wonderful, wonderful event of Lord Krishna, Govardhan Puja. So we're celebrating this today. We're going to do the same thing, except we don't have any cows here with grass. Oh, there's cows where?
Yeah.
Oh, can they come around? The cows are supposed to be in the front.
Yeah.
But I guess we have to chant Jamadrastikam first. But those are the things we can apply to our life. One, we don't have to worry about worshiping anybody else but Lord Krishna. Two, be careful when you're in a position of power or influence, not to be carried away by false ego. Always remember that you're the eternal servant of Krishna. And third thing is, Lord Krishna established this festival, and it's still going on 5,000 years later, all over the world, in heaven and here also on this planet. Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Prabhu. Next part of our program will be the singing of the Damanarasika prayers. The doors will open to the altar in just a moment. And offer candles to the Yashoda and Damodar as well as the deities. And then once that's done, we will have Govardhan Puja. Just a request when you're coming in your candle, just one per person. There's going to be a lot of people tonight. We want to make it move through. We want to make sure we have enough diyas, candles for everyone. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, they have one there. Oh, you'll take it. Yeah.
Krishna will start us and stand up for Govardhan Puja. After the puja is done, they will circumambulate. Those who still up for candles, we'll wait till you're finished before we circumambulate. Shri Guru Govardhan Ki Jai!
नीचे से ऊपर करोगे तब होगा यार, या ऐसे करके
Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine
Why she didn't open the old hati? Huh? Did she do the old hati? Yeah. Mother is saying she didn't do.
विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवर्तित अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद अभय चरण भक्ति महाराज बिल्कुल शिला प्रभुपाद की देव विष्णुपाद परमहंस all glories to the assembled devotees all glory
Wonderful night, celebrating and glorifying Lord Krishna and his pastime of liberating Indra and protecting all the devotees of Vrindavan. We want to make a couple brief announcements, and then we'll honor Prashad. We want to give thanks to the devotees that sponsored tonight's program, making it possible for us. Before I start, I just want to mention that tonight, so it's a new dress that was offered to the deities tonight. However, you may have seen it one time before, because Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, this is the second time wearing it. So anybody know where the first time? You may have seen it before? Rath Yatra, yes. So on Rath Yatra we offer a new outfit, but we only offered it to Jagannath Baladev Subhadra that day. So today we're at Sharki Hari and Shishi Gornitai. It's their new outfit again. We want to give special thanks to Mother Nikunja Govardhan. I don't believe she's here tonight, but she sponsored tonight's festival. She did it, we mentioned before, her mother passed away on the Shera. Her mother's name was Vijay Krishna Basaramba Kognati. And we continue to pray for her and for the family, for the loss. There's also her daughter, Niharika's birthday recently. So we want to send auspicious blessings to her as well. So for Nikunja Gopika's mother and her daughter, let's pray and raise our hands and chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We'd also like to acknowledge Association Shai Vishnu Prabhu. He also sponsored tonight's program. He's there in the back with us. Thank you very much, Shesha Prabhu. He did this, so he has a niece, and his niece is only 16 years old. She's living in the Philippines. She left her body in a very untimely way. So it's a very sad thing, somebody so young. I'd like to get her early. So we send our prayers to your family, and special prayers to the soul. The name is Sean Pasquale. So Sean Pasquale. We send our prayers to the soul of her. And again, we pray, we ask the devotees to raise their hands and pray for her. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There's nothing more auspicious than the prayers of the devotees, especially during very difficult times and joyous times. But especially difficult times to know that you have the support of people that are close to Krishna and pray to Krishna all the time. It's very comforting and can help the soul transition to its next stage. As devotees, we want everybody to go back to Godhead. We want everybody to reconnect with Krishna and reawaken their lost golden Krishna consciousness. So we hold these festivals, but not everybody's able to come to these festivals. But you can get benefit from just sponsoring something, giving something, or even just remembering a loved one as you're circumambulating Govardhan or coming before the deities and praying. So every little bit helps, and so that's why we do what we do. Hare Krishna. So we have another festival, an event coming up on Friday. This is the disappearance day of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki? Yeah. So on this day in 1977, on Friday, Srila Prabhupada left this world. Very sad day for the disciples, And all of this come as we reflect back on all the wonderful contributions and mercy Srila Prabhupada has given us. The temples, the sacrifices, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, all the other books, the direction, the guidance, the love and care. So this is the day we come and we offer our homage, we offer our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada. It's a morning, these programs are celebrated, appearance days and disappearance days, in the morning time. So we're going to start at 10 a.m. and it'll go to 1 o'clock p.m. So we hope you can find a way to take a little time off of work if you can, and come be with us as we honor Srila Prabhupada. These are actually some of the sweetest days, because you get to associate directly with disciples of Srila Prabhupada, hear memories of Srila Prabhupada, and also hear from all the devotees what Srila Prabhupada means to them, and how Srila Prabhupada has impacted each and every one of our lives. So 10 o'clock set on Friday, this coming Friday. We hope to see you. It's a fast until noon. Any questions on any of the events or anything that was mentioned before we break? Okay, we again wish you a very happy Diwali and Govardhan Puja. Shri Giri Govardhan Ki Jai!
He asked me if I would. I said, yeah.
Really did turn out well. Are you happy? You need a chair? Why don't you?
Yeah, we got it. Can you sit down?
Yeah, we can get Muktidachi. You coming home? Muktidachi, do you have any more gloves? She can help. Muktidachi.
Yeah, but right now we're just gonna put this in. She wants to say this. I want to see it.
Next year, I think we move it out a little further, just because I think it got like pinched coming around here. Next year, I think we move it out in front of Srila Prabhupada, in line with Srila Prabhupada. Because people were it was getting like a bottleneck behind here. And then maybe we turn it this way, actually. No? Oh, we keep it that way. No, like, it's fine. I think you just bring it out a little further, and then it'll be
More in front of her.
yeah. How you feeling, Bum?
I'm feeling better, thank you. Thank you.
Migraine.
Much better.
48 hours. Yeah, brutal.
I think it can be. The problem is it upsets my stomach so much, then I'm throwing up. I can't take anything. So I have to wait till my stomach settles down. And then, the reason I have the coffee maker is coffee settles my stomach. So then I can make a cup of coffee. And then that'll settle my stomach. And then after that I gotta wait. And then because the stuff, I have to be able to eat something. Because the stuff that I take, if I take it on an empty stomach, it'll make me even more violently sick. Because I did it one time. I took it, the first time I got it, I took it without food. So violently sick. Like every half hour, it's just up so it just takes such a long time, even after. And then when I take, I usually have to go for a walk and then go to sleep. Because it seems to digest better when I go for like 15 minutes walk after I take it. And then I have to go to sleep.
Yeah, I'm good.
Even then, after I wake up, I really, that all night. It's like you're just so warm. Even though you go back to sleep and you wake up, you're like, it was such a terrible. It's really.
I can't talk to him when he has a migraine. We go 2 days without speaking. It's like he can't deal, you know.
It's the only time my mother ever lied to me. She told me.
Go outside there and.
Away when I went through menopause.
Is that what you told her?
I think I was like
He gets it
15
from
or
her.
16 when I first got it, and she
With
gave me
all her things, she came over and did so much. That is you.
gave me some, you know, and I went
That's
to her. I
you.
said, I got
I have to learn something good from you like that.
whatever it was, she was big.
Go all the way, in spite of everything.
For a bit.
Then I come back to the place to do.
You know
Come on,
why? You let me know when you need to come.
That's good. Hopefully they don't return.
Now I give them about.
So is there?
A lot of times I get dehydrated.
That's the only time I've ever gotten it, other than being like
Himani, there are bikes there. Can you get me?
pounding feeling. Somebody's taking like a hammer to the ground. And it's just like,
They turn into a migraine.
So this needs to be done by Friday. The pictures came.
Yes.
And I ordered the frames, the gold frames.
The frames get here.
Don't be here between today and Thursday. We'll do it. No problem. And then this 12-inch round stained glass. It's going to be so nice.
When you would have done it right when it goes like that, where the right where the wire is out. Can't wait to see it.
So we're gonna take this out. Okay.
What do you think
Like
about
just right there, so I can. Does it go? Thank you. It was amazing. Like, wow.
no, but then you wanted to think about the skies.
Wow. Thank you.
I thought they were like candles. You get the artificial. It takes a while, once you start growing,
The one on the right gets more light than the one on the left. They should probably be
so he worked for like 2 days straight. So he did. And yesterday too.
This all turned out.
Yeah. As I said, what are you doing? Juice.
I know.
Well, they got to see like the how.
No, that's not nice. We should cut that. Can you tell your dad to chop it?
I don't know if that's possible. I'll try. Okay, it is possible. Okay.